We are live streaming in the new office that is not even remotely done. Now, listen, I am just going to preface this video with saying you're probably thinking, Sarah, weren't you just live literally a half hour ago? And yes, I was. And to be totally honest, I didn't like that live. I didn't want to save it. And there was a lot of brain farts going on. So I am redoing this live in a little more of a succinct way so I can actually use the video moving forward and people don't have to listen to me shit on myself basically for 2 hours. So what we are talking about today, using Paperform to create custom proposals. Now, I was in a coffee chat with my friend Alicia, I think Friday, and she was basically walking me through kind of this pain point that she had with one of her clients where there's really no tool out there to create custom proposals. And what we mean by that is to think about a shopping cart, right? When you are like, okay, I want socks, I want a bra, I want a t-shirt, and I want joggers, right? You're clicking all of those things and it is calculating your final price, right? Why can't we do that as service-based businesses? Well, we can, and that is using Paperform Calculations. Now, in this video, I'm going to walk you through how we not only set up that form, but we also use Papersign to connect all of that data and auto-populate a contract. So if you are not already using Paperform or Papersign, I have a affiliate link down below. If you're watching this on YouTube, it's in the description. If you're watching this on LinkedIn or on Twitter, head over to YouTube, make sure you smash that subscribe button, and then grab that affiliate code. It'll give you 10% off forever. But the cool thing is, if you're already on Paperform and you're like, ooh, I don't know, do I want to use Papersign? Not really sure. You actually get 3 free contracts a month using Papersign. So if you're not ready to invest in the $20 a month or however much it is, I think it's 15, you can test this out and see how it works for you before you commit. So we have the initial, let me see where we at. We have the initial brief, and let me go ahead and screen share so I can kind of walk you through what she wants here. All right, so if we look at this, really what the intended use case is the client or the lead, so to speak, gets a brand media kit that has a button that says they're ready to onboard. This then heads over to the form that we're going to create, compiles all of the contact name, email, business address, all of that, allows the lead to then click the items or AKA the deliverables that they want. And then this will auto calculate, auto fill the contract, send that over to them and call it a day. So in here, we have a couple of different items that we want. There's, I think, 7 or so, or maybe 8 items of options that people can select from. And then we have the sample contract. So if you are brand new to Papersign, I already have this kind of created because, again, we were doing this in our earlier live and needed to call it a day, which is fine. It's going to be great, guys. No pressure. But what we want to do is either create a new document or you can use an older one and just edit it if you want. Just keeping in mind, if you are duplicating anything, make sure you just look at any previous webhooks or anything that you have created. So I'm just going to call this document for Alicia. I can template this out and share this with her. But what we want to do is add in some custom fields. Now, this is one thing that kind of frustrates me a little bit about Papersign is that it is not very clear how to do that. So in this case, the first obviously field we have is a date field. Then we have the company name of the client and their mailing address. And then what we want to do is create a custom field for the total cost of the project. So how we want to do that is if we go, let me just remove this and I'll show you how to create it from the get-go. So you'll want to click this plus sign over on the side and click text. Totally fine, signer 1, but then you're going to click on here and what we want to do is change what the field actually is. So we're going to call this cost, and then under connected attribute, now I've already created these, but let's say you haven't, it's not clear how you do this. So I just want to make it clear so you understand. So if you ever need specific data, you're not limited to just name, company, job title, and phone that's here. You can type it in and you'll see that it says add cost. So if we do that, we will want to add that in there, and I want to make sure it doesn't duplicate. So we'll go ahead and click cost. Now then, when we are creating our form and pulling in these fields, this will fill in as the cost. And then the same thing, the monthly installments. So we'll want to create a custom payment link and go from there. And then the last thing, obviously, is date, signer, and signature. Now, this is more of a personal preference here, but I do not sign all of my contracts every single time a contract comes through. What I do is I have a picture of my signature, and I just put this here with my information, but I don't actually sit here and fill this in every single time. If you want to, what you'll do is you'll add in a secondary signer and put the same thing, date field, signer, and signature below, but using signer 2. And so then what I would recommend is signer 1, you always put your email in here. So if we click on signer 1, adding in that data on the side, so it always emails you first, and then you sign it and it sends it to your client. So that's done. So this contract is complete. That's all you have to do. Just make sure you fill in or rather you create the fields here that you want clients to be filling out when they fill the form. Now we are going to move into the form here. And what we're going to do, here we go, I have it under my YouTube video form folder, is we are then going to create the form. So I always recommend, obviously, at the top of every form that you have, you can add your logo, add some context, name the form, and say, hey, thanks so much for, showing interest in working with us to kick off your project, complete the following form, whatever you want to say, totally fine. But to create these here, what we want to do is not use the text box. So if you do / text is the first one. Instead, you want to do, if you type sign, the integration that pops up that says send a document to be signed. That is what you are going to want to create. Now here, we are going to select our document and we're going to say for Alicia, and that is going to pull all of those fields that we just created within that contract. Now, understanding that this is a template, right? So what should we call the new document? We will call it maybe onboarding or project contract. I don't know, whatever you want to call it, right? We'll just say project contract. And you can add in the fields here. So we will say project contract and then add in, where's the company name? There, would probably help if I put my glasses on, guys. I cannot see. I'm a blind old lady, okay? So then you can add in the company name so it follows and you can easily follow along and know which one to open if you need it. So then it's going to ask you which fields do you want to actually import. Now, the phone, the job title, name, email, and company are all native to every contract or Papersign document, right? They're not, maybe not all contracts, but we do not need the phone. We do not need the job title, but we do need all of the other ones. So we're going to go ahead and click import, and you'll see that it's a signer 1, but mine originally were nice and pretty. So you can absolutely rename these, just keeping in mind that they are linked. So if you delete it and you need to re-add it the same way you added it originally. And how you do that, so if we click remove, let's say we're just like, oh shit, I accidentally deleted it. So we will click that again, click on this, and just toggle off all the ones that we don't need. So let's say, I don't know what I just deleted. Let's say we just deleted mailing address. So we'll just import this, and you can drag and group it again. All right. So next, what we want to do, and let me delete these so I don't forget. All right. Alrighty. So we will do this. And let me move this over here. Okay. So the next things that we want to do is decipher all of the line items of this upcoming project. So we added in this little title, which campaign elements are you interested in? And then every single line item that could possibly be booked needs to be its own separate entity, we are using the multiple choice feature. And why, I will show you here in a second, is if we go to the actual view, this looks kind of like an add to cart, right? So if we click add deliverable, it adds it in there. So you can click as many as you want or as little as you want. And what that does on the back end is it creates a calculation. Now, so how you do this with multiple choice, just to go over this, click the option as multiple choice. You want to start a new question, and then we just type in add deliverable as the option. You don't need to have a don't add button, right? That's a little confusing. So what we want to do, actually, and let me close that out. It's getting a little help on formulas today. Let's see if this works. Okay. All right. So what we want to do then, and how we want to calculate all of the total cost. So if we click email, vertical, and IG, what is that total cost of the contract? So we will then use a calculation field here. So just start a new question, click calculation, but then you need to add in the actual formula. Now, in this sense, yep, that's great. So let me let Paperform know that it's working now. This worked. Okay. I had to end my original live guide because we were hitting an issue where nested if statements were not working. And so I pinged the Paperform team to be like, what the heck am I doing? And it looks like, I don't even know what the change was, but it's fine. So in this instance, one of the other questions in Alicia's kind of breakdown was, if the lead selects that they only want quarterly, they're only going to get charged one time contract for the content. So it's a 3-month commitment. But if they click yearly, then all of what they click needs to be times by 4. So in the calculation, this is a hidden question, which I guess it doesn't technically need to be. What it will do in on the preview of the form is just show you what the output is, which I think is actually kind of smart. So we will unhide that. So in the calculation, this is a nested if statement. So it says if, and this is the field for the commitment question. So if this question is answered as quarterly, then do all of this. But if it's answered not quarterly or annually, then calculate this. So how we did it was, if it's a blog post, here's what the cost of one blog post is. If it is a sidebar banner, and all of that is here. Alicia shared that with me, so you see these cost breakdowns here. But then if it is, and you multiply it by 1, right? So if it's quarterly, you're only getting 1 invoice. But if quarterly is not selected, then it needs to be multiplied by 4. So in this instance, the annual, or rather the commitment question, defaults to the quarterly. And so the total cost here is previewing $22.50. So if I go and close this out and we go to the preview, we have project cost as 0 here. Now, if I select, let's say blog post, IG, and podcast, it shows it here and it is calculating. So if you're cool with that cost, then we'll go ahead and hit submit, which I need to do. Actually, let's just test this. So let's fill this out. So Lodgepole Drive, Austin, send me all the coffee, guys. All right, here's that. And then what's my email? hello@systems. And we are going to select quarterly. So that number is here, but let's go ahead and select yearly, and you'll see that the number went up. So I'm going to go ahead and hit submit. And if all works well, might be a little delayed, but let's go ahead and see. You have a new submission. Yes, that is what I submitted. And let's see if it sends the contract. Oh, Yep. Okay, perfect. So now you see that the first email up here says systems has invited you to sign this. I don't know why the company name ended up being blank, but if we click sign document, that emailed it to me because I put my email in that form. And you will see that the date got added, my company name got added, my address got added, and we are going to say the total sum of 3,800 payable in monthly installments of yearly at the beginning of each month. So this is the final calculation that we're going to have to do, which is totaling out the final cost. So basically this is the total cost, right? 3,800, but then it needs to be divided by 4 technically, which is due actually they need to relabel this I guess monthly. Yeah, we would divide this then by 12, right? Or if they wanted to get paid quarterly, they would change this language to say payable in quarterly installments. And then you just go ahead, it fills in your name, the date, and you just click sign, you click confirm, and you click finish. And so ultimately, like if I was signing it and the client was signing it, we would both get a version and see those signatures down at the bottom. So that is honestly how you do it. And what we want to do actually is, let me see, let me message Paperform back. Perfect. Thank you so much. Okay. Awesome. So let's make that as simple as possible. So if you are considering creating custom proposals and want to have clients pre-build their deliverables for you, this is the easiest way to do it. So utilizing Paperform Calculations, utilizing that nested if statement, and I will make sure to put this up as a blog post on my site. So if you want to copy and paste that nested if statement, that'll be up in a little while. And I think that's it. Let me know if you have any questions, comments, concerns. Hope you enjoyed this video, and welcome back to the lives, guys. I'm so excited to be back. You have no idea. And I'm even more, honestly, I am even more excited to get this office done. It has been an uphill battle since we moved in. To just end this on a fun little story. So this office, I am planning on doing an L shape. I have a wall right here, and I'm planning on doing an L-shaped desk. And so some of my background will change a little bit, but if you have any ideas or comments of things that you want to see, my plan is all of my art, my gallery wall is not always going to be in every video. My plan is to do, since I'm doing an L-shaped desk here, I'm going to do an L-shaped art above me. And so sometimes I might be facing with that in the background. Sometimes you'll see my cheers matches, which y'all, I'm obsessed with this art. But yeah, so that is where we're at. But I've gone through 3 desks now to get things squared away, and I'm waiting on the final desk to come so I can finally set this up. So hopefully today's video, for what it's worth, I'm filming again on the Opal Tadpole, and I've just got my AirPods in because we were having issues with the AirPod Maxes in the last couple streams. So let me know if these were better in the short term until I get my mic and all of this stuff reset up. And yeah, we're going to go start doing lives every, I think, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then every other Wednesday for long form. So work with me's will be back. Topics will be back. And I am also going to start a segment. I'm throwing this out there for you guys. If you are interested in coming on, I want to start 2 different segments, one being more stuff like this. So if you are trying to figure something out for your own business or your clients, you can submit it to me and I will do it as a live on my channel. Happy to help. And then the other segment that I'm starting is I want to start inviting people into my channel and basically like roasting / rating your workflow setup and giving helpful advice and tips on ways to improve and just having an open dialogue on how people work online, whether you are a team of one or a team of some or a team of a lot some, which is a new word that I've invented. But yeah, we are going full in. Now that I have moved and life is settling down for us, I'm going full in on live streaming because I have never felt more invigorated and more excited to be on the internet since I started live streaming. And as you guys know, I literally live streamed every single day in December, and I have thoroughly been on the edge of my seat, like mad that I haven't live streamed in the last, I think it's been like 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks probably since the move and all of that. And so I'm just like, man, I'm chomping at the bit to get back. And I am so excited for what is coming and what we are going to do together this year. So all that to be said, thanks so much for watching.